Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back another video from Annie News, and today we are just checking out how strong is level 5 Bell. How strong is he now? Let's find out.
Bal's time with Freya may not have been the most beneficial for his mental state, but
Yeah.
it was by far the best thing he's done for himself as an adventurer.
Yeah, he's got stronger.
If you look at it through that single lens alone, then the training he received, though very much inhumane, was something he wouldn't be able to get anywhere else in Auraria.
Very true. It's like, kill him, bring him back. It's like, whoa.
I mean, it's not often you get to spar with level 6s every single day.
It's a lot.
So, with Freya
Oh no, the Yamcha thing, no.
essentially speedrunning Bel's development faster than he already was, it's no surprise his stats at the end of it ended up looking like this.
Damn. And actually, it's pretty cool, because like, if things work out, they have to, story-wise. Oh, goddamn, please bring him back to everyone else. I hope his stats must stay, mustn't they? Like, if once it gets, everyone gets the memories
Triple
back.
S across the board for the first time ever. This makes him more than ready for level 5, but if you know how leveling works and the way his stats accumulate from his previous levels, you'd know Bell reaching level 5 automatically places him in the upper echelons of level 5s. If you're confused as to why that is, then let's quickly recap how the leveling system works again.
Oh, come on. You gotta watch these videos, man.
It has been 2 years since the last power video, and I'm sure a
Has it been that long? What?
progression system as complex as this isn't something all of you commit to memory.
Alright, fine.
So, as I've said before, the whole ability to level up, gain experience, and subsequently grow stronger all stems from the Fauna, the magical blessing every adventurer receives when they join a familia. This is the medium that allows them to receive portions of their god's divine power, imbuing them with small amounts of arcanum, as well as placing them at the starting point of level 1. It's once there that any adventurer can start gaining Excelia to level up. Excelia being the XP that comes from doing anything related to the 5 following attributes. With these fundamental areas being ranked from I to S, a fresh adventurer will start at the rank of I0, then go up a letter for every 100 points they gain until the max of S999. Bell, of course, being the only exception.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to the actual process of leveling, that doesn't really require reaching the S rank in every attribute, but instead stems from the accomplishment of something spectacular. It's a feat so amazing for their current level that not only does it overload their Fauna with Excelia, but it also impresses the gods around them.
Ugh, she's so impressed.
It's
I paused that at the wrong
combination
time.
of stats between 400 and 800 that's usually enough to make it to the next level. So, it's when an adventurer does finally level up that 2 very important things happen. The first is the gain of a massive stat boost, and the second is the reset of all their stats back to 0.
Yeah, to then start over again to stat it up. Yeah, so you need to really want to level up. From what I remember, anyway, from the previous videos, like you want to make sure your stats are where they need to be before going back to 0 to leveling up to starting again.
Of course, their level 1 stats are kept as a hidden baseline, but their Fauna is wiped to start keeping track of their level 2 stats now. So, if you want to calculate overall power, then all you need to do is just add the previous level stats with the current level. It's a system that does get a little bit complicated, but the general idea is that the higher number is always better.
Duh.
Unless you're Bell, a level 4 will always be stronger than a level 3, and a person with 800 agility will always be faster than someone with 400. It's a concept that'll make more sense once we look at Bell's
Unless
progression,
you've got a
even
level
more so when
higher
we see it
than
front and center in the
the
upcoming
other
war
person,
game.
yeah.
Bell's level 2 was earned after defeating the Minotaur, his level 3 after training with Eyes,
Which was some intense training.
his level 4 after his fight with Asterius,
Which was such a friggin' epic fight. He's always had, like, big
and
moments.
now his level 5 from the expedition and his training with the Freya familia.
Which is so... It's so much, man.
All
It's
this
so
was in the
much.
span of 6 short months, and it's the fastest anyone in Aurario has leveled up ever. As for how that's possible, well, as I'm sure you already know, it's mainly because of Realis Freeze, the unique skill enabling Bell to overload his stats into the double S and triple S ranks.
Yeah.
So long as Bell possesses a strong desire to grow, his stats will also grow at an increased rate proportional to that desire. It's a desire that's typically manifested as his goal to catch up to Eyes,
Yeah.
but that's not necessarily the goal it always has to be. In any case, Realis Freeze is the foundation supporting Bell's growth, but the experience propelling it forward are the obstacles we constantly see him overcome. Last video I had covered all the way up to his fight with Asterius.
I can't believe that was 2 years ago. That's crazy. Oh my god.
Leaving his stats in the double S and triple S ranks.
It's mad as well. Just throwing it out there. Like I'm trying to. I don't like saying this because I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's gonna stop doing the reactions," but I'm gonna be doing other videos next year. Like I'm gonna be doing music and not like. And other like analytical videos like this, like, you know, certain things I react to, but I will still be doing reaction videos as well, just not like as much in 2025. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
This would serve as the catalyst
I
for
can't
level 4,
wait for
starting
it.
Bell fresh at I0 for everything again. Now, with all the stuff Bell went through during his expedition,
Yo.
it makes sense that his jump in stats after would be the biggest yet.
Yo, I love that he's putting everything up so quickly as well. Like, for the amount of time they're on, like, screen, don't need to put the effort in. But like, yo,
I mean,
like literally just gone. That's crazy.
the Moss Huge alone was already a tough opponent, but Bell had been forced to fight so much more. There were all the high-level monsters one could only find in the deep floors, the Lambton Snake Beast mind-controlled by Jura, then the oppressive Juggernaut awaiting him at the end of it.
That thing was insane.
So, though Hestia didn't know the full extent of Bell's trials down in the deep floors, the story his stats told made how harrowing it was perfectly clear.
Damn.
Reason being that, while it wasn't impossible for someone to achieve such a boost even without Realis Freeze, to do so meant they would have had to survive a series of utterly brutal encounters, ones in which nothing less than their life was at stake. This will always be the best way to level up, since it most often pushes an adventurer past their limits.
You're
So-
like pushing yourself to like death.
As much as Hestia wanted to celebrate Bell's explosive growth, she knew she couldn't since the implications were devastating. Sure, a total improvement of over 3,400 was nice, but the cost was something that she'd never want to put Bell through. In fact, just hearing how Bell had almost died 7 or 8 times had actually caused her to pass out.
Whoa.
That being the case, even if this growth was a personal best and perhaps even an Aurario-wide record, this wasn't something Hestia could brag about since every god would know the circumstances behind it were far too cruel for any adventurer. She would just be met with pity and disappointment for having put Bell through that. Now, Bell's time after this was rather quiet, so when his update came with Freya's status snitch, the improvements we saw were rather minimal.
That was weird. She did a thing, didn't she? Like,
Well, for any regular adventurer, this could
she did a thing. Oh.
actually be pretty massive, but comparatively speaking to how much Bell usually goes up, an increase of 10 to 50 isn't that high. It's improvements he gained from his grueling date training with Hedin, the time spent running away from the Freya Familia,
right.
then that brief encounter he had with Hogni. It's Bell's
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool.
next update after that, though not as much as the one from after his expedition, is arguably more impressive because it's an almost 3,000 point increase in the higher ranks. Remember, gaining Excelia gets exponentially harder the higher the level you are.
Yeah, it's hard
That
to
being
level
the
up.
case-
Which makes sense. It's like a video game. It's like the higher you get, the harder it is to get to your max. It just
The amount of work
Makes
required
sense.
to achieve this update was arguably more than the work he had put in surviving in the deep floors.
oh.
As for what that work was, well, it was a direct result from his endless training in Folkvanger.
Just
The
constantly twining him
intrafamilial
around.
battle royale that taught all who participated to never falter and always keep fighting. Only those who survived earned the right to be called Inheriar, and that's exactly what Bell had become. He was forged into a battle-hardened soldier, reborn through the flames of combat.
God damn.
The thing about this type of combat, though, is that as a constant battle royale where the fights are literally endless, it differed greatly from the consecutive battles he would usually face in the dungeon.
Yeah, because you'd have time to like heal and recover and like hide and then wait for it's the way that the dungeon works in it. It's like it can respawn monsters, but it has time to do it. So he has time to like
With
sort of
no
sort out.
escape and no room to think.
There you go.
The environment Folkvanger created was one where fighting was everything. To consider anything else would only mean death. So, this was the value Folkvanger provided since it refined a rookie like Bell into a full-on veteran. Instincts that were previously dull when it came to PvP had quickly been honed into something greater.
Yo.
And it wasn't even because Bell had wanted to, but was rather because he was forced to. In this arena where the only two outcomes were to win or die, Bell had literally no choice but to adapt.
Yeah, what other choice do you have?
So, on the first day where he had actually come out victorious, the only reason for this was because of Firebolt. Had it been constant 1v1s, then Bell knew he would have lost for sure. You see, when it came to this endless battle where any number of opponents could jump out at any time, Firebolt made dealing with such surprises easier. It was instantaneous combat power that gave him a greater advantage than anyone else.
The attack that he has had from, must be season 1, and just always helping him out.
He could counter-snipe those trying to attack from a distance, then disperse a swarm of people trying to surround him. So, as a spell that was faster than even a magic swordman's fastest strike, here in this endless battle, the true value of Firebolt was made clear. Combine this with the endurance spell gained after surviving 4 days in the deep levels,
God,
and
yeah,
what you get
like,
is a level of power capable
season
of
4
dealing
was
with level
epic.
4s and lower easily. This, however, was just the bare minimum, since in order to be an adventurer of the Freya Familia, you also had to survive the first tier adventurers too.
Yeah.
It was an impossible challenge that put Bell against tactics and skills he couldn't even begin to match.
It's been thrown into so much stuff, but I can't wait to see what happens afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, we're all there. He's doing all this. When everything's fixed, his stats are still going to be there. He's going to be so OP.
In fact, with every opening taken advantage of and every counterattack countered by theirs, such oppressive opponents had finally led Bell to give up for once. Since fighting back wasn't even possible, death was the only thing that he could accept anymore. Such a mercy wasn't something he was even allowed to have, though, as any time death got close, a healer, an elixir, or sometimes even a lightning attack would pull him right back into the world of the living.
Yeah.
More than once in a single session was Bell revived and forced to fight again. This in turn provided the best Excelia, since, just as I said in the beginning, life-threatening encounters grow an adventurer the most. It's battles where one's life is truly on the line that provide the best experience. This is reflected time and time again during Bell's status updates and is made clear from the numerous high-level adventurers currently in the Freya Familia. So, it makes sense that after a couple of weeks of doing such endless battles from sunup to sundown, that Bell's stats would look like this. How does that translate into power compared to everyone else? Well, that's where things get a little bit complicated.
Because Bell's different. Again, it's like the system's quite... I feel it's quite straightforward, but Bell throws a cog in the mix.
Remember, only Bell can raise his stats past the max rank of S999. And when you consider how most people usually level up when their stats are between 500 and 800, that hidden stat line, which is the cumulative total of all stats from the previous levels, would pale in comparison to Bell's. To make this point as clear as can be, let's imagine a hypothetical adventurer whose stats are all at 650 before leveling.
Okay.
The average level 4 would have a total of around 2600 in every attribute, while Bell's stats from his updated totals after Folkbanger would...
So these are the comparisons. Damn! It's like nearly double. It's nearly double.
to be around 2000 more in strength, endurance, and dexterity, a massive 3000 more in agility, then about 1500
Everything
over
is
in magic.
nearly double.
It's an absurd gap in power that makes him incomparable to any other adventurer his level. Even if our hypothetical adventurer was to level up to level 5, it's more than likely the boost in power they would receive from doing so still wouldn't be enough to surpass Bell's level 4 power. Of course, there's no way to know for sure if this is true, but time and time again we've seen Bell hold his own against adventurers a higher level than him. Like, even recently we just saw him land a hit on Hedon, an adventurer who's
crazy.
level 6.
So cool. Like, come on. That was sick.
Now, I'm not saying that Bell can handle level 6s, but
No, but like, he can hold his own for a little bit. At least, like, whoa.
as a new level 5 with 0 stats and everything, his hidden baseline should make him equal to upper level 5s and maybe even beginner level 6s too. There's no way to know for sure unless he fights
That
him, but
comeback
that's
fight is gonna
something
be
I think we'll
sick.
get to see soon. In
If
any
it
case,
happens.
all this was only possible because of his skill.
Realis
Where we
freeze.
start getting into Bell's true capabilities is the way he complements it with everything else. There's Firebolt, which we've seen save him numerous times over, Argonaut, which enables a single powerful attack after charging it up, Convergence, which allows him to focus Argonaut to a specific area, then his ultimate attack combining both Argo Vesta.
Oh my god, he's going to be so
I had
powerful.
talked about all this extensively in Bell's level 4 video, so rather than focus on something old, let's talk about something new.
Oh, Hestia.
Initially, I'd planned for this video to come out exactly when Bell's level up had happened, but because of that 1 week delay, this next part is technically spoilers, at least until Season 5, Episode 10 comes out. So, if you don't want to know Bell's new skill and what it does,
Right, we're going in.
then feel free to skip ahead to here.
We are going in.
It's really not that big of a deal though, since the ways it can be used are very circumstantial.
Okay.
But anyway, Bell's new skill
in.
is Vanity's Tevide.
God damn, I can't believe... No, I'm joking, so that's fine.
Hestia's divine protection now given form within Bell. All it is an anti-charm ability, since whenever Bell's subjected to the effects of a charm, instead of succumbing to it like how any normal person usually would, he would instead gain an extreme stat boost to all his abilities.
Oh, so is that why it's happening? Like, what?
Not only that, but his mind and stamina would start to recover endlessly,
Right.
essentially providing him with limitless capacity for magic and endurance.
What?
Now, I'm not sure how many more situations would end up with Bell being charmed, so I don't think this is something we'll see in effect often or ever.
Yeah, like, this seems to be why he...
I think it's just, as I said, Hestia's own powers given form in Bell. That said, it would be pretty cool to see a limitless Bell in action. As for the only other new addition to level 5 Bell, he had gained a new development ability called Rapid Attack.
Right.
So, along with Luck, Escape, and Abnormal Resistance, Bell now had an ability which increased his damage with the more attacks he landed in quick succession. It's a powerful combo move I'm sure we'll see very soon.
Sick.
That's pretty much it, so after yet another set of daunting endeavors across a couple of months, Bell had once again jumped from level 4 straight to level 5.
That's...
Freya's Volt
wow.
Banger may not have been as extreme when compared to his time in the deep levels, but when it came to the never-ending hell that was this battle royale, Bell honestly believed it to be worse. Combine both together, and what you get are the hardest 2.5 months Bell has ever experienced.
God damn.
A non-stop battle between life and death that in the end resulted in the biggest growth for him as an adventurer yet.
Well, that's what's crazy about DanMachi. There is not much time in between seasons. Like, normally someone would be like, right, it's been 6 months. Well, I think we've only had, like... I hate doing this. I think we've had, like, a year within seasons 1 to 5 now. I think we've been in a year. If I'm wrong, yeah, I know someone will let me know. But I feel like we've only had a year, which is mad.
This obscenely large 5,000 score stat boost nicely topped off with a level up at the end.
I'm probably wrong,
So,
because I
just
usually
as
am.
Bell-
Like, I usually am.
When he reached level 4, he's still on his way to surpassing every adventurer. In fact, with Iza's stats usually only being between 500 and 800 when she levels up, Bell might be closer to catching up to her than you think.
Oh, mate,
Otar
that was
is
so
still
sick to
leagues
see.
above, but the gap between level 5 Bell and level 6's isn't so big anymore. He could probably beat a few given the right circumstances and proper combination of his abilities.
I think that's why this story has happened. It's like, to give a reason why he would be able to rank up so quick. It's like, throw him into this, and then, like, random story, and then... Oh, he is going to catch up.
The big
He's
difference
going to.
differentiating Bell from the rest of these first-tier adventurers, though, is the years of experience they have over him. Like, if all this was what it took for Bell to reach level 5, then imagine the countless grueling endeavors a regular level 5 has to go
Have done,
through.
yeah.
It's no doubt that every level 5 and above are far more experienced than him. So,
They've gone through
though
a lot.
Bell stat-wise would technically be more powerful, experience is something only gained with time. Something Bell comparatively doesn't have a lot of. But yeah, that's level 5 Bell for you.
Yo.
If you liked this DanMachi video and want to see more, then check out
Boss.
these previous ones that I made here. I'll also be making power videos for the Hestia and Freya familias, so if you want to see those, then consider subscribing.
Sick.
You can also check out ReZero videos here too. Until next time though, ciao.
Yo, so that was sick. But I'm just going to throw it out there as well. There is one cut content video I have not checked out. It was like the second part of the final episode of the first core of ReZero. If you want me to check it out, let me know. Like, I kind of do want to check it out, but like, I'm trying to. There's so many videos I want to like react to and upload. It's just unreal. So it could be like a, I don't know, throwaway one. I've got it downloaded and ready to go. But I feel like no one's gonna care because it's been so long now. But that was fun to see. Like, Bell is going through a lot, and I love that it's adding to his leveling up. So when things get right, because they have to narratively, it has to, like, you know, get fixed. And when it does, his stats should stay, and it'd be like, yeah, and he's so strong, and it's like, ah, okay, cool, that's amazing. But anyway, thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe. Pixel Party Pals. Pixel Party Pals.